Greetings, justice seekers. Welcome to Justice, Not Justice, Season 1, Episode 11. So I'm going to pause with the reporting now of the facts and let's start doing some critical thinking. I like to play this little game called What If? Okay, so let's just go back to the very beginning and see how this might have played out had systemic racism in the Milwaukee County courts not existed, okay? All right, so remember, Jeremiah was the one to file for divorce. He was also the first one to file a restraining order against Jamie based on what was actually her harassment. That's actually been documented. I've already played it. You've heard it. As we know, he was denied, okay? A couple days later, she went down and filed a restraining order against Jeremiah that was completely laden with lies. There was not one shred of truth to what she said, and she was immediately granted her restraining order, and Jeremiah was police escorted out of his residence a couple days later. Okay, now, what if... Okay, and that sets the stage for this picture of Jeremiah being an abuser, and now he's homeless, and it just creates a whole host of problems that these attorneys and court commissioners really don't care to deal with, okay? One of the big problems with the attorneys and court commissioners and judges in the Milwaukee family courts is that they don't actually remember cases. They don't familiarize themselves with back information. And I don't know why they do that. Maybe they don't want to, maybe they're just way too busy. But in order to do a fair, I mean, we're talking about people's lives here, and we're talking about children. So it seems to me that in order to do your due diligence, you need to be really understanding of the whole picture. But what happens is you come into a hearing and, you know, even though they may have seen you 17 times, that they're getting out of their minds what they just heard, and now it's like you're in front of them for the first time. So all they're going to look at and all they're going to pay attention to is what is said right then and there. Okay, no context, even though they have context. That's a huge issue. That is something that I would like to see resolved. Okay. That being said, let's just say this played out differently. So let's just say that Jeremiah went down and filed his restraining order and he was granted it, okay? So now there's no restraining order being issued against him, first of all. So there's no narrative official that he's abusive, okay? In fact, the narrative that's official is that she's the harasser, okay? And this is actually the truth. So she gets police escorted out of Jeremiah's home, and she has to figure out where to go and what to do, and the kids remain with dad. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with it looking like that, okay? And as we know, it didn't happen like that. Then we don't have all these issues of custody, because Jeremiah, as you can see already, despite his being a little bit irritating and aggravating to piss Jamie off, because frankly, he's mad himself, is extremely reasonable and has been extremely reasonable this entire time. This whole thing could have taken such a totally different turn and way, 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 way less time and way less money and way less drama. But because he's a black man and he went and filed a restraining order against a white woman in the Milwaukee County courts, that court commissioner didn't want to touch it. He's like, I ain't touching this, and put this out for a hearing. That's exactly what happened. That would have been really great. So rather than displacing everybody and everything, Jamie, who Jeremiah's basically been, really parenting these kids for the most part because of she works when he comes home, blah, blah, blah. Nothing really changes. It's just that mom's gone, but Jeremiah's totally fine with her seeing the kids and so forth and so on. So this is how it should have looked. And there never should have been a GAL assigned to this case in the first place. The only reason why there was is because Jamie accused me of abusing her children. Okay, that's not how it looked at all. And it's extremely frustrating. And this one I'm going to keep short. Just wanted to, kind of throw that out there, because now we got to get back on the crazy train and see how this continued to just spiral down the rabbit hole. See you soon.